Have you ever had that nagging feeling that your partner isn't being completely honest with you? It's a common concern for many guys, whether it's suspicions about her fidelity, financial matters, or just simple things like who she hung out with last weekend. While we can't claim to give you a foolproof lie detector, we can certainly clue you in on 15 subtle but unmistakable signs that something might be amiss. These signs could help you gauge how truthful your partner is being. Warning: the moment you discover the truth, remember to act wisely as a high-value man that you are. But before I go into this, take just 2 seconds to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of my amazing future content. 15 signs that she is lying to you. How to know if she is lying. Alright, let's get started. 1. Swallowing. Swallowing can be an intriguing indicator. You know those moments when you're captivated by her lips. Well, here's a twist. Pay attention if she starts swallowing excessively while talking. When people lie, the stress they feel can cause their esophageal muscles to constrict, leading to more frequent swallowing. It's as if her throat senses that she's serving you a tall tale. Actionable tip: observe her body language, especially during important conversations. If you notice frequent swallowing, it might be a sign she's feeling stressed or uncomfortable. 2. Lip licking. Lip licking can be a subtly seductive gesture, but be on the lookout for unusually frequent lip licking during a conversation. When someone lies, stress can reduce saliva production, causing dry mouth. So if she suddenly turns into a lip balm enthusiast mid-conversation, it might be a red flag worth noting. Actionable tip: keep an eye out for unusual lip licking during conversations. It could be a sign of nervousness or an attempt to conceal discomfort. When you spot this, proceed with empathy and ask open-ended questions to encourage honest communication. 3. Answering with questions. Have you ever posed a straightforward question and received another question in return? It's a classic stalling tactic. She might be buying time to carefully craft her response or diverting the conversation away from the truth. Don't let her evade. Push for the answers you seek. Actionable tip: when she responds to your questions with other questions, gently guide the conversation back to the topic. Encourage open dialogue by saying something like, "I'd really appreciate hearing your perspective on this." 4. Selective memory. When weaving tales, people sometimes forget important details. If she starts backtracking or conveniently forgets specific aspects of her story, be cautious. Pay attention and keep her story straight in your memory. She might trip up in her own web of deception. What should you do? Be an active listener. Take mental notes during discussions. If you detect inconsistencies or forgotten details in her stories, revisit the topic calmly. Ask her to clarify or share more about the subject to encourage transparency. 5. Changes in skin tone. Stress can manifest in various ways, including changes in skin tone. She may flush or become pale when she's not at ease. Keep an eye out for these alterations in her complexion during conversations, especially if they seem unrelated to the topic at hand. Here's what you should say to her. Learn to read her nonverbal cues. If you notice sudden changes in her skin tone during conversations, it might be time to address the issue delicately. Say something like, "I've noticed you seem a bit uneasy. Is there something you'd like to discuss?" 6. Voice changes. Unless she's going through a second puberty, her voice shouldn't be cracking or changing pitch. If her vocal tone wavers or becomes unsteady, it might indicate that she's nervous or struggling to maintain consistency in her story. Actionable tip: pay attention to her tone and speech patterns. If you detect shifts in her voice, pause and ask open-ended questions that allow her to express her thoughts and feelings more freely. 7. Hiding her hands. Hands are incredibly expressive, and they can reveal more than words. If she's hiding her hands, whether behind her back, under her armpits, or in an unusual position, she might be unconsciously trying to conceal her nervousness, as her hands could give away her unease. Respect her personal space, but be attuned to her body language. If she seems to be hiding her hands or displaying unusual hand positions, create a comfortable environment for her to open up. Use statements like, "I want us to have an open and honest conversation." 8. Pupil dilation. The eyes are often considered windows to the soul. Stress frequently causes pupils to dilate. If you notice her pupils growing larger during the conversation, it could be a sign that she's feeling the heat of deception, as her eyes involuntarily reveal her discomfort. Keep an eye on her eye movements. If you notice her pupils dilating, it could be a sign of heightened emotions. In such moments, approach the conversation with patience and understanding. 9. Eye movement. When someone isn't entirely truthful, they may avoid direct eye contact. Watch for signs like darting eyes, increased blinking, or her looking away. These behaviors could be attempts to hide her unease and evade your scrutiny. Maintain gentle eye contact and be an active listener. If she avoids eye contact or displays unusual eye movements, reassure her that you value her honesty. Say something like, "I appreciate your openness in our discussions." 10. Fidgeting. Fidgeting is an interesting clue. Rather than referring to something else, it means her own fidgeting behavior. When people are nervous or anxious, they often seek an outlet for their tension. So if she's fiddling with an object or excessively touching her own arms, it might signal her unease, like her body trying to release pent-up anxiety. Actionable tip: acknowledge her feelings. If she's fidgeting, it's a sign that she might be anxious. Create a non-judgmental space for her to express herself. Use phrases like, "I want to understand your perspective better." 11. Inconsistent storytelling. Inconsistent storytelling can be a significant red flag. When someone is not being entirely truthful, they might unintentionally mix up the details or provide contradictory information. Keep a mental record of her narrative over time. If you notice stark contradictions or changes in key elements of her story, it's a signal that something might not add up. Be attentive and consider asking follow-up questions to clarify any discrepancies. 12. Unusual defensiveness. Excessive defensiveness can be a defense mechanism when someone feels cornered in a lie. If she becomes remarkably defensive or agitated when you question her about a particular topic, it could indicate an attempt to protect her deceptive facade. Pay attention to sudden outbursts, heightened emotions, or an unwillingness to engage in open dialogue. These reactions might be efforts to deflect your scrutiny. 13. Excessive qualifiers. Liars often sprinkle their statements with unnecessary qualifiers and justifications to make their story appear more convincing. Keep an ear out for phrases like "to be honest," "I swear," or "believe me" when used excessively. These qualifiers can be red flags, as they might indicate an attempt to overcompensate for a lack of truthfulness. If she feels the need to repeatedly emphasize her honesty, it's worth taking notice. 14. Microexpressions. Microexpressions are subtle, involuntary facial expressions that briefly reveal genuine emotions. They occur in a fraction of a second and can be challenging to spot. Watch closely for tiny, fleeting facial expressions that don't align with her words. A quick flash of fear, guilt, or discomfort, even if it's momentary, can betray her true feelings. Pay attention to her eyes, mouth, and forehead for these revealing microexpressions. 15. Abrupt changes in topic. When faced with a question or topic she'd rather avoid, she might swiftly change the subject or divert the conversation in another direction. This tactic is often employed to steer away from revealing the truth. If you notice that she frequently shifts the focus, especially when the subject matter is sensitive or related to her potential deception, it's a behavior worth noting. Consider circling back to the original topic to gain more insight into her responses. Remember, these signs alone aren't definitive proof of deception. They could be influenced by various factors. The key is to maintain open communication, build trust, and create an environment where both partners feel safe sharing their thoughts and feelings. We hope you found these insights into recognizing signs of potential deception both intriguing and informative. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated with more thought-provoking content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button below. Also, give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and remember to share it with friends and family who might benefit from these insights. If you have any questions or want to share your experiences or thoughts, please leave a comment in the section below. We love hearing from our viewers, and your feedback is invaluable. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we look forward to bringing you more engaging content in the future. Until then, stay curious and stay vigilant. I strongly recommend you watch the videos in the playlist displayed on your screen right now for our powerful content that'll turn you to an overnight champ in the dating game.